Much for watching and being part of the foundation. One of the things that we teach in the 7 habits or the 7 steps, there's 7 secrets of things that you need to do. Well, one of those, you need to make more money. With the governments of the world, they can't balance their budget, so they just print money, which makes it harder for everyone because of inflation. So we need to invest in things that go up in value, and we also need to do other things as well. We need to make more money. And one of those is to make more money with your small business. All of you need a small business. Step number 1 is to make more money with your job and your small business. Step number 6, multiple streams of income. Let's take that small business and make it into a larger business. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about goals. And I've got my good friend Kurt Mortensen, a international best-selling author, teaching us about small business. Okay, take it away, Kurt.
All right, we're back. Welcome back, everyone. You've done your homework. You better have. We talked about last time getting out of your comfort zone, stretching yourselves, identify the things that are pulling you back, holding you back. Again, the whole premise here is to start now, a little bit here, a little bit there, to make a difference. And look around. People are doing it. If they can do it, you can do it. There are opportunities everywhere if you'll just look and understand exactly how everything is set up. Now, we're going to get into a little thing here. You can all moan if you want, goal setting. But hey, every book on success ever written, every CEO talks about it. In fact, I was guilty too, I'll admit it. Early on, going to these different seminars and trainings on multiple streams of income and how to do it, I was listening to these millionaires, these successful people, and all of them without fail would spend time talking about vision and mindset and goal setting. And I'm thinking there in my young mind, thinking, yeah, whatever, give me the tools, just tell me how to do real estate, how to do the stock market, how to start a business, whatever it was, but they were all vision, mindset, goal setting. And I realized when success wasn't happening for me that those are the tools. Because I'm like, give me the tools, give me the real tools. No, those are the tools, the most important tools. Just like a computer. If it doesn't have good software, it's useless. It could be the best computer on the planet, but it has to have good software. That's your brain, that's your mindset. That's why we're going to be talking about goals. And the challenge is most people just never learned how to do it. I mean, they understand the concept, but they don't have a formula to be successful. It's like if you wanted to learn to go snow skiing, for example, and you went to the resort and you rented some skis and got a ski pass and got on the chairlift. They're like, whoa, wait, don't you want lessons? I'm like, nah, I can figure it out on my own. How hard can this be? I mean, really, come on. You actually get off on the expert run, you start picking up speed, you're going to hit a tree, break your leg, and you're going to say, that's a terrible sport, I'm never doing it again. The challenge is you didn't know how to do it. You didn't have lessons. That's what we're going to do today. And there are plenty of studies that show that success and goal setting go hand in hand. Only 3% of the population puts their goals in writing, but they achieve more than the other 97%. We know it works. You have to have a target. You can't hit a target if you don't have one. It could be a target, whatever example or idea you want to use, it doesn't matter, but you have to have that target. If you don't like the word goal setting, call it objective or target, whatever you want, but we need to be able to do this. This is so important for your success. Again, you can't hit the target if you don't have one. But a lot of people who've done it the wrong way, they got this bad feeling, they felt like a failure, so they don't put their goals in writing, so they won't fail, but they fail because they're not accomplishing anything. So we're going to learn how to do this the right way. So setting goals for ourselves and with our families will truly change our lives. However, it is not enough. If the goals are only kept in our minds, it doesn't work. It doesn't count. It's just a wish. It's just a dream. Goals have to be written down. There's something magical about not only writing it down, but crossing it off your list. There's just something that our brain loves about that. We must write our goals down. We may think we don't need to write them down. Is it really necessary? Let's talk about it. But I'm telling you, that's magic. When you write it down, it becomes real. If it's just in your brain, it's just a wish. You write it down, then you know it's a burning desire. It's something that you truly want. That's when it makes a difference. So our goals also need to be SMART. We're going to talk about that. Each letter in SMART, S-M-A-R-T, stands for a goal-setting principle that, when incorporated to our written goals, will help us achieve success. So let's talk about these principles. So why is this so important? I mean, everyone's talking about it. Really? Do I have to do this? I'm telling you, every successful person swears about goals and setting goals. So, why is it important? The physical action of writing goals down causes us to think more about our goals. Some people even write them down every morning when they wake up. They write down their goals. They just do it, repetitive. And every time they write it down, it becomes more real. It becomes more realistic to them. Writing goals down causes us to remember them better. It's in front of us. We either review them every day, we look at them every day, we write them down every day. We remember it. It's part of us. It consumes us, and it adds fire to that burning desire. Writing goals down forces us to think of what we have to do in order to achieve the goal, right? We have to figure out, okay, it's just not this big goal. What do we need to do today to achieve that goal? Goals that are written down can be reviewed much, much more effectively. With that, we can share, discuss, or review written goals with family members and success partners. Let me talk about that one for a second. Hey, I love accountability partners. You look at people that are doing weight loss, for example, when they have to meet somebody on the corner to walk, meet somebody at the gym at 6 a.m., they are more successful. So find an accountability partner, a success partner, someone that's going to ask you every day, did you do your 10 calls? Did you do something towards your goal? Whatever it is, you have someone to talk to. Now, choose wisely here. Don't choose Aunt Edna, that negative person in your family, right? You know, the one we've talked about before that comes to a family gathering, you don't even talk to her and she sucks the life out of you. That is who I'm talking about. So choose someone that's on that path, that has similar goals, that wants more out of life. That's the type of person you want to choose. Another reason it's important, we can set a timeline for when we want to achieve our goals when we write them down. Not written down, it is just a wish. So let's talk about ants. Yes, ants. They're very persistent, so we know they have goals. They have a one-track mind. If they're on a path to do something, you put for something in front of them, they just go around it. They go around it, they go around it, very persistent. And there's a great fable about ants and goal setting. So once upon a time, in the vast forest, there lived this tiny ant named Peter. One day while gazing at a towering mountain in the distance, Peter decided he wanted to reach the top. It was an ambitious goal for such a small creature, but Peter was determined he was going to make it happen. He was going to climb that mountain. So Peter shared his plan with his family and friends. Of course, you know, they spit on your dreams, they laugh, they come up with all the reasons you shouldn't do it, even though they do want to climb the mountain themselves. They might say something like, Peter, you're too small. It'll take you forever. What a waste of time. But Peter didn't listen. He broke this huge goal of climbing the mountain into smaller, manageable, bite-sized pieces. Each day he would set out moving just a little closer to the mountain. First he focused on reaching a large tree, and then he aimed for the stream, and then another large tree. And every time Peter faced obstacles, like a fallen branch or the wind was too strong, he kept going. He had a plan. And he didn't focus so much on how far the mountain was. He just focused on what he needed to do that day to get to that mountain. So as time passed, Peter's steady progress caught the attention of the other animals. They began to respect his persistence. And they just say that's true with your family and friends. They might mock you at first, but they'll respect you. You just do a little bit every day. So one day, after many small victories, Peter stood at the base of this great mountain. And without hesitation, he began to climb. It wasn't easy. It was steep. It was treacherous. But Peter didn't stop. He kept focusing on the next step, the next challenge, the next milestone, the next tree, the next stream. He kept going. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Peter reached the top. From there, he could see the entire forest below, including the animals who doubted him. He smiled, knowing that his success was not because he was the biggest or strongest, but because he was disciplined in setting small, achievable goals along the way. So what's the moral of the story? Well, I like to say success is your best revenge. Or basically, Peter the Ant teaches us that no matter how big or intimidating a goal may be, it can be accomplished by breaking it down to smaller, manageable, bite-sized pieces. Being persistent, planning, focusing on one step at a time, you can achieve your goals. So let's go through this SMART program, go through it, and I want to add some things to it to help you out. So this has been around for a long time. SMART goals, the S stands for specific. Our goals should clearly explain exactly what we want to achieve. Our goals should not be too general. Bad, I want to lose weight. I mean, what does that mean? No, I want to lose 15 pounds. That's specific. And I would even add, put it in present tense. I have lost 15 pounds. Make it more real. Whatever works for you. Watch how you talk to yourself. Be specific. It has to be so specific that you know exactly what to do. If I want to lose weight, what does that mean? Is that a pound a week, a pound a month, a pound a year? What does that mean? I mean, everyone wants to be healthy. I want to have better relationships. What does that mean? Oh, good goal. I mean, it's a good target, but you have to be specific so you can break it down so you can know what to do. If I want to lose 15 pounds, all right, well, that means as I look at my target, maybe that is a pound a week. I know exactly what I want to accomplish. So be as specific as possible that when we go through these other steps, that you know exactly what you need to do. And the M, measurable. Our goal should have results that we can clearly see and measure. I want to be smarter is not measurable. I want to score above 90% on my school test is measurable. Losing 15 pounds is measurable. So when it's specific and measurable, then you know exactly, all right, that you need to keep the score, right? That's the important part here. You have to keep the score and see what you're doing every day with your accountability partner, on your phone, whatever you need to do, you have to keep track because some days maybe you gained a little weight. All right, well, we're still going to that goal. We're still focusing on it. It's measurable because you can get on the scale. Your income's measurable because you can look at your bank account. Your school tests are measurable because they are graded. They have to be measurable. Then when they're measurable, again, you can keep the score. You know how well you're doing. And that's a great motivator for you because if you fail one day and have a bad day and maybe gain a little weight, let's say, but you look over the past 2 months where you've lost 10 pounds, then you know overall that you are progressing in the right direction. It's like the stock market. Upward trends, all we're looking for. Doesn't mean a stock's got up every day, but overall, over the past year, or whatever your time frame is, it's been going up. That's an upward trend. That's why you keep the score. That's why you keep it measurable. And of course, is it attainable? Our goal should be something that we can reach in the time that we set. I want to lose 15 pounds this week. Unless you lose a limb, is likely impossible. Good. I want to lose 5 pounds this month is attainable. So part of that too is look around. To become a millionaire in a week, has somebody done that? Probably winning a lottery. But as the majority of the people, is it attainable? Look around. Is it realistic? Something that you accomplish. So this is part of your mindset too. Your mind has to believe it also. Now, it might take a little time to get your mind up to speed and get there, but is it attainable? Look around you, and does you believe that something you can actually do? And at first, if you're not quite sure, if you keep thinking about it, your mind will quit fighting with you. That's the goal we talk about, our mindset. When someone says, I'm a millionaire, your logical mind goes, yeah, right, you're broke. What are you talking about? But if you say that with passion and conviction before you go to bed, you look at your vision board, you keep thinking about it, it's your burning desire, those negative thoughts erode away. And eventually one day it's going to feel real. The day it feels real, it's just going to happen faster than you realize. That's the key. So make sure it's attainable. You believe it, that it's specific, it's measurable. And then the R stands for relevant. Our goal should be something necessary in our lives and related to our desires. Bad, I want to sell 12 chickens, but you don't farm chickens. All right, where'd that come from? Good, I want to sell 10 bushels of grain is relevant if you farm grain. And the reason this is here, because a lot of times we just absorb the wants and wishes of the people around us or the world. The world tells us you need a nice car and a big house. You need that. Is that relevant? Do you really want that? Do you really care? What is that you want? Don't just rent your dreams and your goals from other people. Own them. What is that you really want? Is it relevant to you? Is it something, not that somebody else wants or society, the world wants? What is it that you really want? When you talk about financial independence, I've met a lot of people that want to become millionaires. Hey, if you want a big car and a big home, go for it. I'm okay with that if that's what you truly want. But I've met a lot of millionaires that just want to live in a nice home, in a nice neighborhood, Nobody knows that they're wealthy and they can give back to charities. They can go on missions. They can do different things. That's what they want. Hey, you do you. You have to understand, but it has to be relevant. And then T, time bound. Our goal should have a date or timeline set for their accomplishment. Bad, I want to lose 10 pounds someday. Okay, who doesn't? It won't happen. It's not time bound. Good, I want to lose 10 pounds before Easter is time bound. You have a date, you have a deadline. So when it's specific and measurable and you have a deadline, the time, then you can map out your game plan. That's why we do this. So you can reverse engineer. If you want to lose 10 pounds before Easter, what is that? Half pound a week. All right, what is your game plan? You're going to walk 30 minutes a day. You're going to eat healthier. What does that mean? Well, you're going to have this for breakfast. You're going to count your calories. You're going to do this and keep the score. That's the goal here. You have to have a game plan. You have to create the how. Good, you want to lose 10 pounds. Good, you want to make more money. How are you going to do that? Who are you going to mentor with? How much time are you going to spend each day? Who's your accountability partner? What is your how? And you map it out by your time frame. You have to have a game plan. What books you're going to read, how many classes you're going to take at the successandmoneyfoundation.org. All those things come into play to get your goals. But let me add the biggest one. One that a lot of people don't think about. This is your motivation, because everyone's had a day where they didn't feel like doing the things they know they needed to do. It is your why. So let's talk about the why. Why do you want to be financially independent? Why do you want to lose weight? This is your motivation. You've got to really think about this when you have that day, which we're all going to have. You don't feel like doing the things on your goal sheet that's going to get you towards your goal. The ant that maybe didn't want to go to that next marker the next day, they just did it. They were persistent, and they do it because of the why. In fact, I learned this from a gentleman named Dan Jansen, Olympian speed skater. He held the world record in the small track. I don't know if you remember the small track, Winter Olympics. They wear those really long bladed skates. And he held the world record in the short track. He was the best. He had this goal to get the gold medal. That was his goal. It was consuming him. Wanted this goal. Wanted this gold medal. So he went to his first Olympics and made it to the medal. Somebody slipped, he slipped, disqualified. Okay, and trained for another 4 years, went back and didn't place, and trained for another 4 years, and tragedy in his family, mind wasn't in it, didn't place. He was getting older, everyone's like, no, you hold the world record, you're the best. He's like, no, I need a gold medal. So he trained for another 4 years. If you're doing the math, that's 16 years. And this was the last shot. He was getting older. Made it to the medal round of the short track. Gun went off and another collision. Slipped and fell. Disqualified. No medal last shot. Are you kidding me? Why am I telling you this story? Because he decided to do the longer track. Didn't hold any records. Was his best event. But just barely squeaked into the medal round. And the gun went off. And one of those incredible moments in Olympic history where broke the Olympic record, won the gold medal, did a victory lap with his new daughter, throwing flowers. He did it after 16 years. He got the gold medal. So we sat down with him. We said, Dan, how do you stick to goal for 16 years? Most people can't get out of bed in the morning. How did you stick to this goal for 16 years? He didn't hesitate when he said, when I was younger, I had a coach that sat me down. Before practice, I had a list. All the reasons why I wanted that gold medal. For me, for my family, financially, and he would practice 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. And, after 3, 4, 5 hours, cold, tired, hungry, want to go home. When you get fatigued, you want to give up. But when he felt like giving up, he'd pull that list of reasons out of his speed suit, and he'd find one that would get him back in the game, that would motivate him, that would inspire him. He had the why. Because people don't fail because of lack of goals necessarily. They fail because of lack of reasons behind the goals, the why behind those goals. That is the key. That's what you need to focus on. It's real. You need to do it. That's going to be part of your homework. You've got to find the why. So let's talk about that homework. So use the SMART protocol here to set your primary goal. Is it a physical, intellectual, spiritual, social goal? It's probably a financial goal for many of you. And you could do multiple goals here. So set it out. And then with that, okay, what is your how? What is your game plan? What are you going to do? How many hours a week? Who's your accountability partner? Start thinking it through. Is it 30 minutes a day? Is it 10 minutes a day? Is it an hour a day? Is it 2 hours a day? The books, the courses you need to take, the skills that you're missing to achieve that goal, just write it down. But do it for your primary goal. If you want to do it for some of your other goals, fine. Like your health goals, if you want to do it there, fine. But especially your financial goal, what is it? What do you want to accomplish when you think about your income generating activity? What is it that you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? And then list your whys to that goal. What are the reasons? That should be easy for you, but you need to have it written down and keep it with you. It's probably your children, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's to show your Aunt Edna that you can do this, whatever it is. The more you write, the more motivators you have, because some days you're going to look at that and one thing's going to motivate you, the next day another thing might motivate you. That is the key. So go through, set your primary goals, your financial goal, other goals if you want to, reverse engineer it, time frame, specific, measurable, and who is that person you're going to share it with? Who's that person that's going to support you, root for you, maybe even hold you accountable? Like, really? You didn't do that today? Then will you have to do two tomorrow? Whatever it is, choose somebody that's really going to support you and believe in you and hold you accountable to say, no, that's not acceptable. You need to do twice as many tomorrow, and the person too that's going to cheer with you when you made it happen that day. You achieved what you needed to do that day to achieve your big primary goal. Remember those old-fashioned pumps, right? You've seen them before where you're pumping up and down, up and down, up and down. This is so important with your success and goals and your persistence. Hey, I'll take persistence almost over anything because persistent people are more successful than the smarter people a lot of times because they keep doing it. They keep doing it. They keep doing it. So let me share a story. So this young man, this young woman fallen in love, sparks are flying. He decided to be courageous and ask his girlfriend's father to borrow the car. They decided to go out in the countryside to have a picnic. So he got the yes, borrowed the car. They put the picnic in the trunk and they drove a couple hours into the country to have this picnic. And they found a nice stream, a shaded area, and they're, hey man, fallen in love. Sparks were flying. They had a great time, but this young lady, she started to sniffle and I started to water, start to feel bad, and realized that her allergies were really kicking in and it was getting really bad. So she told this young man, says, hey, we need to go back. My allergies are there. I don't want to take my medication because it makes me groggy. Let's just go back. So they packed up the food. He poured out all the water so it wouldn't leak in the trunk, and they started to drive back. And hadn't gone 15 minutes, and this young lady says, man, I know I need to take this medication. It's getting worse. Says the doctor said I need to take it with a lot of liquid. And this young man, his heart's sake, realized he had poured out all the liquid. They had no liquid. She needed this medication. So over an hour into town, and he noticed off the distance an old abandoned farm, complete with the red barn with the paint peeling. But out in front of that barn was one of these pumps. So they pulled over, got out their containers, and he started pumping. And 5 minutes had passed, and his beads of perspiration on his forehead. Another 5 minutes, his muscles were starting to ache, and nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. And he's about to give up, and his girlfriend says, no, keep going, keep pumping. I need the water. It could be close. Keep pumping. Hey, when you're in love, I don't know if you remember that. He kept pumping another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, without any fanfare, without any alarm, without any notice. Cold, refreshing water came gushing out, and she filled up her containers. She took her medication. He had saved the day, and they drove back into town without incident. Why do I tell you this? Hey, I don't know the date and the time that your financial independence will come or whatever your goal is, but I do promise you, you keep pumping even when it hurts. You keep pumping even if it gets hot. You keep pumping if others are mocking you for pumping. I know it's frustrating at times because you can't see how close the water is, how close the success is, how close financial independence is, but you keep pumping. Even when it hurts, right? You keep pumping. I promise you, the waters of financial independence will come gushing out. And a big player with that is goals and being persistent. So do your homework, set your goals, make it happen, not just in your brain, put it in writing. You have all the steps to do it the right way. This will make a big difference in your life. So put your goals in writing, make it happen. And as you know, go out and make the world a better place.
Thanks, Kurt. And as you know, as we talk about the 7 steps or the habits or the secrets, you got to learn how to make more money. And you do that by solving bigger problems, studying successful people, by adding a small business to what you're doing, your goal is to make as much money as you can, take that small business and turn it into a large business. And if you go through these classes, that will sure help you do that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make a difference, make it happen. Remember, every life is precious. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.